think that most people in the video game sphere agree that AI doesn't really have a place in video games. Now, AI is progressing very quickly, and obviously all the people who are making the AI want it to be in everything, because then they'll be able to make more money. But the video games industry is an industry that we see time and time again pushing back against sort of the new things. You know, they're pushing back against subscription models, and they're pushing for right to repair and owning your own stuff, and also pushing back against AI. A lot of people think that it's a fruitless effort, that AI is going to take over, everything's going to be AI, but I don't think that's the case. And I'm not here to talk about AI as a whole. I don't need to have a broader conversation on this channel about AI, but I do want to talk about AI as it relates to video games. Today I'm talking about Google Gemini. Nope. Today I'm talking about Google Genie. Project Genie is Google's new video game project. Let's hear it right from the horse's mouth. Is that an expression? Project Genie, the world's first interactive AI world generation engine. Experience Google Genie AI. Transform text prompts and images into fully interactive, playable 3D worlds with real-time physics. The future of generative AI for games and immersive experiences. Now, this is not a very comprehensive deep dive. This is just the introduction to Project Genie. And basically how it works is you give it a prompt and or an image, and you say, you know, basically what you want it to be. And then it functions very similarly to the video generation, except it uses user input as well, so that you're creating a game world that you can play around in for 60 seconds. You get a minute to explore these worlds before the whole thing would crumble. Now there's some examples here. We can go to Twitter and there's some examples. Here is Project Genie just blatantly infringing on Nintendo's copyright. This video here is 100% AI generated. This is a video game that has been generated by Genie 3, and yeah, just very obviously ripping off Nintendo. Very blatant copyright infringement here. That's not really what we're talking about, though. Then we've got another one you can take a look at. This one generated a video game where you play as a discarded pack of cigarettes in a train station. Yeah. So, look at it go. 100% AI generated. Now, to have access to this, you have to be subscribed to Google AI Ultra, which costs $250 a month. $250 a month for like a little bullshit tech demo that you can't actually do anything with. Now, does this have a place? No, this doesn't. This is stupid. Obviously, it looks good and everything. The issue with its model in its current form is that it is a tech demo. It is just generating this world you can walk around in for 60 seconds, but there's no game there. It's just a world generation engine. So obviously, in this version, it doesn't really do anything, but that's not the point. The point is the broader context of this. Okay, if you could just type in something and have it spit out a game, does that have a place? I want you to ask yourself what the point of video games is. Why do you play video games? For entertainment, yeah. For fun, yeah. Why do we care about video games? I care about video games. Why do you? Video games and the video game industry has always been collaborative. It's been something that you share with friends, you share with, you know, the internet potentially. It's always been something that you can share, that you can explore, hidden secrets. Since the very beginning, video games have been about connection and about community. This is the antithesis to that, right? You know, live service games, people ridicule those all the time because of their nature. They're going to eventually shut down, and you know, they're like predatory or whatever a lot of times. But at the foundation, there's still the fundamental of a video game. There's collaboration. There's an experience. There's things to have. This is nothing. This is not that. It's interesting. You know, I don't want to talk about AI as a whole, but everything about AI is really interesting to me because it seems to be about taking the most human things and removing the human element from it. What is a video game if it's just for you? If you can't share it with anybody, if nobody made it, what is it? Is it anything? We complain about all kinds of things when it comes to video games. I mean, everything on the internet's negative, but we complain about the cost of games. We complain about the cost of consoles. We complain about so much. We complain about the quality of video games, where we see the AAA market crashing and all these modern games are shit. And more we're seeing the resurgence of indie games, and people want indie games. People want something made by a person out of passion. This is the antithesis of that. This is more corporate than a corporate video game company. This is, I mean, it's literally a pile of nothing. It is frame by frame generation of an image with user input. And the reason why this is the antithesis of video games is because there's no possible way to share this experience. Let's say this is where it's at. It's got a full model, all able to be built and played. You type in what you want, you prompt the game you want, and you play it. That's it. Your friend can't play it. You can't share it with them. You can explain to them what happened. But even with a really advanced version of this, you wouldn't be able to recreate the same exact thing. There are going to be differences from version to version. Even with the exact same prompt, it'll come out different. Why would you want that? Nobody wants this. Ultimately, it's degrading the industry. Even if it got to the point where it was generating these worlds and they were replicable and you could share that experience with other people, what is the point of it? Anytime I see something like this, I don't understand the point. People who really love video games are constantly pushing for people who actually like games to be making them. And we've got these companies who totally misunderstand that, and they just want to push out slop as much as they can. That's why we've got a billion Call of Duties. That's why all these new games suck. And then we've got these companies going, what if we just took all the human element out of it? What if a human didn't even make it? Like, what if a fucked up, stupid program that we made it? This is stupid. And just like everything in the corporate world, it wildly misunderstands what people want, what the base wants. They don't want this. Yeah, this example, this thing. Yeah, it's a cool tech demo. Wow, you can put in words and shit'll pop up on the screen. You can fucking move around and shit. And it's like, yeah, that's neat. DALL-E was neat when it first came out too. Wow, that almost looks like a picture. At a certain point, it just becomes slop. It just becomes, okay, the only attraction to this is that it's AI generated. That's the only thing it has going for it. But at this point, people are burned out on that. People don't like that. Now, some people do. I don't want to say that nobody does. A lot of people do. But most of the people who want good video games hate the idea of AI generated video games. They don't want that. The only thing that's even a little bit cool about any of this is the novelty that it was made by a computer. That's a novelty that's wearing off, and it has been wearing off for a long time. Yeah, we get it. These computers can make shit. At least with Unity's models that they're making, the end result is a game, right? A game that actually is like functioning. You can download it. You can, fucking send it to people. People can download it and play it. It's the same game across everything. How are you going to have secrets in an AI generated game? How are you going to have Easter eggs? How are you going to have things that are shared experiences that, oh, when I found this out, when every instance of the game is different than the other? And that's even if they can make more than one instance of the game. And then what? How long are you going to be allowed to play these games? Right now it's a minute, so what? They increase the time to 10 hours? Eventually for the full games? There's a limit on this. There's always going to be a limit of how long you can do it, especially because the entire world is just going to crumble after an amount of time. It's not going to be able to keep that same consistency forever. So you're going to make these games, and then you're going to interact with these games. You're not playing them. You're interacting with this environment for a set amount of time, and then it's over. It's like a demo for a video game, but you can never actually play the game. It's just a demo. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, and $250 a month. Why are we not pushing back against this more? Why are people not talking about this? You know, we've got all these things we want to talk shit about. We've got all kinds of stuff. You know, we talk shit about Xbox and Sony and Nintendo and all these companies for what they do wrong, and I think that there's good reason to do that, but bitching about subscription services and all that stuff when you've got Google in the background trying to make a subscription service to be able to play slop. And they're saying this is the future of gaming. Luckily, with the way the internet works, there'll always be games that you can actually play. I'm glad Steam made it so you have to mark if a game was made with AI, so the people know. I'd like to know whether the shit I'm playing was AI generated or not before I even download it, just to know if I should even waste my time. That's all I got for you today. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think this is cool? Do you think it looks like anything? I think this is fucking stupid. But, you know, either way, that's the end. If you liked the video, drop a like, leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, drop a dislike and leave a comment. Either way, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.